From 15 News, this is breaking news.
We're continuing to follow breaking news here on 5 o'clock after a man was shot and killed by police on Madison's Near East Side yesterday afternoon. This is video we took from this morning at a growing vigil near the intersection of Williamson and South Baldwin streets. According to Madison police, officers were called around 1 yesterday afternoon for a report of a person checking through parked vehicles in the Marquette neighborhood. That man, who has now been identified as Corey Ruiz, then got on a bike to get away from officers before police found him around 1:30. That's when the struggle captured on camera circulating the internet happened. Police claim Ruiz had a knife. One of the 4 officers then shot him 3 times, killing him. Our Tabitha Bland is at the intersection of where that vigil is and where that shooting happened and brings us an update here tonight. Tabitha.
Mackenzie, we are just moments away from the vigil here starting. Of course, the crowd has grown significantly since we last checked in, and I am keeping my voice a bit lower here just because things are about to get started. But I want you to know that behind this crowd of people here that are here in support, there is a memorial that has been set up. There's flowers, photos, messages spray painted and written in chalk on the streets, as well as the newest thing that's gone up is a sign back here that says "Justice for Corey." So there's a lot of heartache here, a lot of anger and frustration with what happened yesterday. And of course, we are standing in the very spot where this shooting occurred yesterday. So again, a lot of people coming together saying that this is a community event. We do want you to know that the roads are blocked off around South Baldwin and Williamson Street, which is where we are, in about a block each direction. There's trash cans and then also city vehicles that are blocking those streets off there. So something to be aware of if you are in the area. It looks like there are some candles that are being lit up there. A huge turnout of people here. So we will continue to keep you updated throughout the evening. Again, this vigil is starting here at 5 o'clock on South Baldwin and Williamson Street. For now, live in Madison, Tabitha Bland, WMTV 15 News.
All right, Tabitha, thank you. Our Nicole Herzog joins us now live in studio with more about who Corey was. Nicole.
The name Corey Ruiz is written across multiple signs, chalk messages, and photos left at that intersection Tabitha showed you on Williamson Street and Baldwin Street. Now community leaders are also sharing words in his memorial. In the press conference earlier, city officials said Ruiz was homeless and had a child. Publicly available court records show Ruiz had a lengthy history with law enforcement, but Madison Common Council President Sabrina Madison says that's only part of his story. It wants people to remember he was human, too.
Corey is a person. He's a human being. He has a family. He has parents who loved him, who brought him home, who cared for him, who poured into him.
Multiple organizations, community members, and lawmakers are also sharing statements recognizing Ruiz's life, with many calling on law enforcement officials to release more details about the circumstances of his death. But for now, live in studio, Nicole Herzog, WMTV 15 News.
All right, Nicole, thank you. I have some more information now on body camera footage. We've been seeing many people calling for that footage to be made public. Several posts on social media from various organizations calling for body cam footage to be released following the death of Corey Ruiz. Now, the problem, Madison police don't have body cameras. Today, Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway said they will be part of her latest executive budget. That has not been made public yet, but she expects it to come out sometime in October. And she has confidence the council will pass it this time. Because when we look back at the history on this issue, Madison police have pushed for years to get funding for body-worn cameras. However, funding from the city has not been approved. Back in 2024, the department was part of a 90-day pilot program for officers on Madison's north side. That pilot program ended in July of 24, and officers did have dash cameras. They do on the squad cars. That footage was turned over to the Wisconsin Department of Justice Division of Criminal Investigation. They are the ones who are leading this investigation. Mackenzie.
All right, Lee, thank you for that breakdown. Now, following the shooting, we looked into what the policy is for Madison police officers when using force. Now, according to MPD's standard operating procedure manual, using deadly force is a last resort. It should only be used when all other options like tasers, batons, or pepper spray would not be effective. Now, the first reason an officer would use deadly force is, quote, to protect another person or persons from what is reasonably believed to be an imminent threat or death or great bodily harm. The next, which could be very important in this specific shooting, to protect the officer from what is reasonably believed to be an imminent threat of death or great bodily harm. And lastly, to prevent the escape of a fleeing subject that could be potential of bodily harm to officers or others. Now, Madison leaders spent the last 2 hours this afternoon answering questions following yesterday's deadly shooting, and we saw tensions were running incredibly high, with someone from the crowd in this press conference stepping up to the microphone while Police Chief John Patterson was speaking. At that point, people began yelling. Take a listen.
You swell up with what they want you to do in front of the police. You gonna do what they want you to do, idiot. Get you some class.
That news conference began at 3 this afternoon and still underway as we are preparing for this newscast. Our Shayna Najawan joins us live from outside the City County building where that press conference was. Shayna.
Mackenzie, we just left the City County building after almost 2 hours of intense conversation. What started as a routine briefing quickly turned as those protesters repeatedly interrupted city leaders, including Chief John Patterson, demanding accountability and answers. Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway started the briefing offering condolences to Ruiz's family, saying no one should lose their life during an encounter with law enforcement. She also acknowledged questions surrounding how the encounter escalated and said those answers will have to come through the investigation. Patterson later confirmed officers first attempted to use a taser before deadly force was used, but that attempt was unsuccessful. The city's independent monitor also announced a separate investigation, while Patterson said he welcomes that additional review and hopes it's a quick process.
Open and active homicide investigation right now. In accordance with state statute, long-standing practice, the Madison Police Department has called for a thorough and independent criminal investigation into yesterday's shooting.
The mayor encouraged people to protest, but to protest peacefully, including attending tonight's vigil honoring Ruiz. She also asked people to let the investigation play out. For now, reporting live in Madison, Shayna Najawan, WMTV 15 News.
All right, Shayna, thank you for that update. Of course, we're continuing to follow this developing story today. More coverage of the vigil, as well as more information we get from officials, we will bring to you live on air throughout the evening, as well as on our website, WMTV15news.com, and our free news app.